Wow, it's been a busy packing day on eBay. In general, sales have been better than ever. Our sales totals are higher than they've ever been. I suspect that's the same for you. eBay's been very good lately. I hope it's the same for you. If you watch this channel and do what I say, you're going to have better sales. And going into the summer, sales slowed a little bit for everybody, but they are picking up in the last week especially. But today, beat everything. We shipped more books today than we have in a long time. We probably years ago had one or two special orders that were more than this, but we shipped 26 books today to one buyer. One person bought 26 of our books. Most of them are hardbacks. They were a bear to wrap. Books get heavy. You have to put them in multiple boxes. Try to get everything straight. It wore me out, so much so that I put a pillow on every table that I wrap on and have a portable IV coffee drip on the standby with Italian espresso. So who was this guy? Actually, it was a married couple, super nice people. Who are these people that bought 26 books from us? I'll tell you exactly who it was. Last week, about 10 days ago, the gentleman bought a book from us, and I shipped it in good faith, as I think we always do. And about 5 days ago, we got a message from him saying, I didn't really get what I ordered. He had ordered a vintage prayer book of some kind that we were selling from the 40s, I believe, maybe the 30s. But he took a picture of what he received, and it was 4 knitting books. We sent him 4 knitting books. Now, how do I know he wasn't a scammer? It's because I shipped those 4 knitting books to somebody last week, but it wasn't him. It was somebody else. At least I thought so. I messed up. It was pretty confusing what happened, but I thought I had made the grave mistake that we always make once in our eBay careers, but never twice. I thought I had made it a second time. Years ago, I did this. You've all probably done it. I shipped the wrong item to 2 people. They each got each other's item. And that's just a bear to fix, especially if at least one of them doesn't want to talk to you. If you send him or her the nicer of the two or the one worth more money, they probably aren't going to say a word or answer any emails or messages or anything. So I figured that's what we had done. So I started working. No, the first thing I did was refund every penny because that's what you do. You've been on this channel long enough to know that's what you do. Well, I don't know if that's what you do. That's what you should do. You messed up. You made a promise. I made a promise. I didn't honor my promise. I told him I would ship him this vintage prayer book he wanted, and I shipped him 4 knitting books. I strongly suspect he has no interest in knitting. Seems like a nice guy. Seems like a real man to me. He doesn't want any knitting books. Maybe his wife likes them. But anyway, he was honest, and because he wants his book, of course. He said, we've made a mistake. What can you do? What's going on? Let me know what I need to do. Super kind, even in that initial message. Once in a while when we mess up, we've had some buyers pretty upset over really minor things, a minor mix-up that is easy to fix, easier than this actually. But he was very kind, and I suspect he just tossed it out there to us and just thought, we'll see what happens. I mean, he's been on eBay, it looks like, long enough with his feedback that he's protected. He can get his money back. He can complain to eBay and get his money back. He can properly and rightly complain to eBay. I made a mistake. He needs his money back. I sent it back. And the next thing I did, if any of you have listened to this channel long enough, you know what I did. I started searching for him. It's the same book in the same or better condition that I could order and have it shipped straight to his house. Because refunding the money, that doesn't help. He would rather have the book than the money, or he wouldn't have ordered it. The book meant more to him than the money, or he would have kept his money to begin with. I don't have any right to keep his money when I don't do what I promised. So I set out to find his book somewhere else. I did find one, and I found one in better condition, and I immediately ordered it to be sent straight to his home. I sent him the tracking, and I said, this book is on its way. Of course, we're greatly sorry. I called him. I usually call when there's a problem like this. eBay always exchanges phone numbers between a buyer and a seller after a transaction ends. And he was just the night. He said, don't worry about it. These things happen. I couldn't believe it. Just the kindest guy I've ever dealt with. He said, whatever you need us to do, we'll do. We'll ship. I said, well, I tell you what would really help. And that is, if I could send you a mailing label, you could print off and tape to those 4 knitting books that you tape them back up and put the mailing label that I send you, a mailing label, in a PDF file. Put the mailing label I send you on your package that was incorrectly sent to you, and then please mail it to her, please, because she's really wanting these books. And it turned out her books were more valuable than his. I've told you before, these knitting books, these quilting and any sort of quilting and needlepoint and knitting books, they always sell. And the older ones really are still in demand. Of course, that's true with religious books as well, especially anything sort of Bible-based. They're really in demand. So I had both going here. He wanted his prayer book, and she wanted her knitting books. And he said, I'll be glad to tape your mailing label, and I will even take it to the post office and hand it to the clerk, which I was blown away by because that's above and beyond what he should have done. Now, you know, if you've watched this channel, that's what we always prefer. We want that clerk to scan each and every eBay package we mail so that eBay knows we shipped it on time. We fulfilled our promise. Your promise is important in any business, even, I would say, especially eBay, because they're not dealing with a huge corporation. They're dealing with an unknown stranger, just people living somewhere in America. They don't know who we are. They don't know anything about us. They don't know if we're going to honor our word. It's more than important that you honor your word. And if you mess up, it's more than important that you make it right and then do extra. Don't just refund the money. Find the item and ship it to him. What if this had been a $50 book? His was maybe, I don't even remember, maybe $15 book, maybe $20. What if it were a $50 or $100 book? You know what I would have done? I would have refunded him, and I would have found that $100 book and had it sent to him, because that's the right thing to do. Don't do this to help your business. Don't do this to avoid negative feedback. Do it because it's the right thing to do. And then the very next day, I believe it was, pretty sure, he sends me a picture of his book that he got from us that we shipped to him that arrived the day after those 4 knitting books arrived, which just confused the heck out of me. I had thought that I'd swapped packages and labels, but it wasn't that. It turns out once I compared the 2 pictures, he sent both the books and the package they came in. Here's what I did. I put the same mailing label on each package. When I thought I was mailing her 4 knitting books, somehow I printed his label a second time, slapped it on her knitting books, and shipped it to him. And he happened to get her books the day before, and then his book came the next day. And keep in mind, he's got another book coming. That second book is on its way to his house, and he knows it. Now, if you think that through, you know what I did. The same mailing label. I'm waiting for the hammer to drop from the post office. I hope I just have to pay for that second label, because I used the same label to send 2 packages, the same tracking number, everything. There's no way the government's going to let that slide. They let everything slide unless it's related to money. And then they'll do everything in their power to bleed us until they get their money. And it is their money. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. I didn't do it on purpose, but I shouldn't have done it. And I assume that hopefully the only thing that's going to happen is in a week or so, the post office will get all this reconciled, and through eBay, I'll get one of those eBay messages that you get once in a while, hopefully once in a blue moon, like once every 2 years, that says, the post office says you didn't pay enough in the package and you have to remit $7.03, and then eBay just does it automatically because eBay should do that, because the post office says we need our money and this seller of yours messed up. So eBay says, don't worry, we'll take it out of his account and get it to you immediately. I hope that's all it is. I think that's all that will happen. It's not like there's any pattern of this happening in our account at all. It's obviously an honest mistake, but it was a mistake. And that none of this is the purpose of this video. I've talked about customer service before. You might remember, a year and a half ago, I did a video on a mistake I made on a case knife. I meant to send the potential buyer an offer, and I think the offer was going to be $67, something like that, on a $99 knife, and I sent him an offer of $6.70. So he immediately accepted that offer, and it was a nice knife. Now, I might have the numbers wrong, but it's something like that. He bought a $99 watch that I said, you can buy this for $67, except I messed up the decimal point, and he bought it for $6.70. I immediately wrote him and I said, whoops, obviously I made a mistake there. That decimal point was in the wrong place. But a deal's a deal, and we're wrapping your knife carefully and we'll ship it out today. He wrote back and said, look, I understand it was a mistake. You can just cancel the sale. I said, no, we're not going to do that. I did a whole video on this that turned into an amazing thing. It turns out he's a famous knife collector, and he has a YouTube channel all about collecting knives. And he did a 15-minute video on that knife he bought from us and about our customer service. And he showed our store name, our pictures. He just went on and on about how great it is to purchase from these people, us. We got so many knife sales after that because his channel is huge on case knives, all about knives. That mess up, that mistake, that $6.70 sale that should have been $67 sales probably brought in maybe $3,000 or $4,000 because people went from watching his video. They flooded our channel. They flooded our eBay store for the next week or two after that video went live. He sent us a link to show us what he had done. Probably $3,000 worth of knives sold just because of that video, because we messed up with the right guy. Well, thank goodness I messed up with the right guy again. Only it turns out I didn't really mess up. He got his book, and he knows another one is on its way. Actually, I think his second one arrived today. But he just went on and on about the customer service, and we said, look, this is the right thing to do. That's why I did it. And I totally admitted to the mistake. I messed up. I told him at first I thought we'd swap boxes. Obviously we didn't. So we got an order from him a couple days ago for a book, which that was nice. He trusted us to buy another book from us. But today we got an order for 26 books. One of the largest book orders we've had in years. We probably shipped more than 26 books in one day to the same buyer at some point in the past, but it's been a long time. This was an amazing act of trust he gave us when we had messed up. He totally trusted us. And it turns out the secret to success, to loyalty, to making friends in business, because he's kind of becoming kind of a friend. We kind of know what each other's background is. He was a programmer for many years. I was a programmer and wrote a lot of books on programming over the years. And it turns out the secret to success, to customer pleasantry, is not perfection. It's spectacularly fixing any problem, because that's what you should do. It's the right thing to do. Anytime you make a mistake, you don't make the other party whole. You make the other party better than whole. You messed up. You make the other party better than whole. It's the right thing to do, and it makes you more accountable next time. It's going to be very tough for me to put the same label on 2 packages ever again for the rest of my life, because that was just a huge turmoil. Lost sleep over it, worrying about everything. You know how it goes. And it turned into, today, hundreds of dollars, 26 books, many hardbacks, many scarce editions, hundreds of dollars in an order from this guy that I messed up, that I did wrong. Not intentionally. I never would do it intentionally, but I did wrong. It couldn't have worked out better for him and for us. He's totally pleased. He totally trusts us. We have a buyer who I think will check our store for a long time. And we really look forward to him because we trust him. We know that if something happens, I don't know what, address gets messed up or something, we're just going to fix it for him. If he says I moved and I still have my old address on eBay, well, eBay doesn't like us to do that. eBay likes you to ship only to the address on record. But if he wants me to do that because he forgot to change the address before he buys something from us, I'm going to change the address for the guy. I trust him completely. He trusts me. I trust him. So the bottom line, why is this so big these days? Why did this work out so well? Why did the knife thing work out so well just 2 or 3 years ago? It's because I think most people just expect half-hearted customer service these days, or service at all, or they don't even expect customer service. I keep reading a lot of negative feedbacks, not to me, on eBay that say they shipped me the wrong thing, I've been contacting, they never would respond, bad seller, don't buy from this seller. They don't respond to their mistake. I don't understand that. Why wouldn't you? You're going to get a negative feedback. Your metrics are going to be harmed at eBay, not just by the negative feedback, but you know that buyer opened up a case against her and they all got their money back. I think these days when you handle something properly, the way anybody would have 25 years ago, not that I'm old enough to remember 25 years ago. A lot of you are. People view such customer service as a rare event, and they're totally blown over by it, totally not expecting it, and so pleased when it happens. That's the lesson all of us should remember, not just on eBay, but in life. If you do somebody wrong, even if it's unintentional, make them better than whole again. You do that because it's the right thing to do.